Hello, guys, and welcome again to this edition of Learning with Rich. In this topic, we are going to talk about the new features, enhancements, or changes in Revit 2019. So, I'm going to talk about the changes for general changes in Revit 2019. So I'm not going to talk about per discipline like the changes in architectural, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, piping, and structural. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the changes in general. All right? So let's get started. So first off, the first thing that you will notice is that when you open a file, so let's say I'm going to open the file, and then if you click one project or Revit template or even a family, if you click, you will notice that it is now showing the version here of the version of that particular file, which is very useful, okay, because it will give you an idea what is the file that you are opening. So it's giving you a heads up, all right, so on what version that you will be opening. So this one, I'm trying to open a Revit template, but if I'm going to cancel this, if I open a family, same with the family. So if I open one family or just click one family, you can see here from the preview that it also shows you here what version is that particular family that you are opening. All right. So that is one changes or feature that I have noticed when I opened file in Revit 2019. All right. So another thing is that in case you're wondering where is the location of the sample files, so you just need to go to the file, open, you click the arrow, and then you can click here the drop down arrow, and then you can see there the sample files. Because a lot of my subscribers are asking me to send them the sample files, they didn't know that sample files is already in their Revit. Okay, they just need to locate that. So, what is the reason why I'm showing you the sample file is that Autodesk added here two sample project file. Okay, so previously you don't have this in other version like 2018 below. Okay, so these two project is just an additional sample project that you can use as a reference or for your training purpose. Okay, so this is another changes in Revit 2019. So they add these two sample project. Okay, let me just open a sample project here. Let me open this one. RAC, meaning Revit Architecture Advanced Sample Project. So let me just open this one. All right. So one thing that you will notice here, if you have a keen eyes in looking details on the window, is that you will see that there's already the window here. Okay. This is one of the feature that is already added in AutoCAD. Okay. It's been years this feature is added to AutoCAD. So now they added this in Revit 2019. So this is a new feature in Revit 2019. So the tab here, so that's why same use in AutoCAD. So every time you open the view here, you open a view or you open a project, you'll be able to see here the tabs here. All right. And you can also go to the view tab. Then from the windows, you can tile the views. And then after that, there's another tool here. There is no tab views in 2018. Now this is added in 2019. So if you click that, so it will show you again your view there, your single view. So tile view, tab views. Okay. So let's say furniture layout. And then you want to see all the views. So you can select tile views. And then you can go back tab views. Right. So this is another new feature. Now, one cool about this feature is that if you are using a multiple monitor, which is I'm guessing most of you Revit users is using, so you have two monitors, three monitors, four monitors if there is. I haven't seen a four monitors yet. I only seen three monitors. Anyway, if you have multiple monitors using in doing your project for Revit 2019, so you can actually drag one tab like this. Okay, this is one of my favorite new feature in 2019. So if you have a monitor, you can just put that to your another monitor. I cannot show you my setup, but I do have a multiple monitor right now. So I can just simply drag this to my another monitor. Okay, all right. So I can maximize this one and then I can see the model, all right, see the view. So yeah, so this is a new feature in 2019. Now, if you want to return back this tab to your placement here, so all you have to do is to drag this and hover your pointer there and then release, and then you'll be able to place it there. And of course, if you want to close all of your uh, inactive views, you can always select this one, right? So I think you know this already. So let's say I want to close all of these views. I only want this view, so I can select this one. Close inactive windows. Just click that one. There you go. All right. So another feature in uh, 2019, I noticed that if you go to the 3D view, which is this one, if you go to the 3D view, right, and then you want to see your 3D view in perspective view, usually what do you do? What do you do is that you go to the floor plan and then you create a camera, right? For you to be able to see the perspective view of your 3D model. Now, in 2019, you can already do that by simply right clicking here, the view cube, any part of the view cube, you just need to right click and then you will now see their perspective. All right, if you click that, so you will be able to see now your project in perspective view, not only on the orthographic view. There you go. It's cool, right? Okay, so this is the perspective view. So no need for you to go to your floor plan and then create a camera for you to be able to see that in perspective view. So it's now here in the view cube. So all you have to do is to right click that and just select perspective. Or if you want to make it orthographic, so you can select your orthographic. Right, so that's one feature that I have noticed. And another thing is that in 3D view, if I go to the visibility graphic overrides, IVV, and then I go to the annotation categories, right? If I hover my pointer there and then look for levels, all right, so this is another new feature in 2019. In 2018, which is this one, I have a 2018 opened in my project. See, this is 2018. By the way, there's no perspective here. If I right click here, there's no perspective. That is a new feature in 2019. So I'm using 2018 now. So if I go to the visibility graphic overrides and then go to annotation categories and then hover it down, you see, even if the levels here is checked, there is no level that is being shown here, right? But in 2019, if I, this is already 2019, if I check the levels here, and then if I select here, okay, so you will now be able to see here the levels on your project. You see, there's your level. See, there's your level. So if you click that, you'll be able to see here the levels. Okay. So you can use your levels here as normal, like when you use that if you are in the elevation view or section view. So like for example, you want to change the name here, so you can click that, and then you can click if you want to change the name. Or let's say you want to change here the height or the level, okay, or the elevation of your level. Okay, so this is one good feature that you can do in Revit 2019 to further enhance the way you model your BIM in 3D view. All right. So let's say, for example, I have here my architecture, and then let's say I'm going to select a wall here. So let's say I'm going to put it here. So I'm going to create a wall. So this is the wall. All right. And then modify. Let me just change the type of my wall. first. So I click this. Let me change that to 300. All right, you see, if I'm going to click this and then I'm going to drag this, you see, it's snapping actually with my level, right? You see that? It's snapping with my level, right? Okay. So you can create elements in your perspective view or in your 3D view, I mean, and then you will notice that you will be able to make your elements aligned also to your uh, elevation. But honestly, I don't think this is pretty useful in my case. All right. Anyway, so well, that's a new feature in 2019. Oh, what else? Okay, another small things that is pretty useful for me is that when you go to the project browser and then usually how do you rename your view in the project browser? Usually what you do is you right click and then you rename, right? And then you'll be able to rename it. Now in 2019, so there is another way to rename your view in the project browser. So let's say I'm going to open the roof here. Okay, if I click that and then I click again, so I'll be able to change it. Okay, let me try to do that in 2018 because that is the only time I noticed that in 2019. I might be wrong because it can be done already in 2018. Let me try. So this is 2018, so I'm gonna open roof and then I click the roof and then click again. All right, so you will not be able to do that in 2018. Okay, but in 2019, so that's another way to rename. So you just click and then you click again and then you'll be able to change it. Do not click it, do not double click it quickly. All right, so all you have to do is to click first to highlight and then click again and then you'll be able to change it. Or the easiest way is, I'm going to give you a tip. Easiest way to rename your view from the project browser is that you just click the view and then press F2. That's simple. All right. Small things, but sometimes it saves you time, right? So that is another feature in 2019. You can rename your view from the project browser just like that. Okay, so what else are the things or changes that I have noticed? All right, so if I'm going to create here a camera view, so let's say I'm going to put a camera. So let's say I want to see this portion here. Let me just go inside. So I'm going to select here camera here. There you go. Right. Okay, so this is my camera view. So let me just change my view to shaded. All right, so this is my camera view now. So another feature in 2019 is that you can use now this one. Do not crop view. Okay, in 2018 you will not be able to use this. So now in 2019 you can now use this. So you can click that and then as you can see it's now whole view, right? Without the crop, which is for me it's very useful. So I can see now clearly I can see widescreen for my camera view, all right? Because in 2018, so this is 2018, so if I'm going to open a one perspective view here, you see there's no way for you to be able to deselect your crop view here. So it's always cropped, right? But in 2019, you have now a way for you to be able to see your camera view without a crop, okay? Without a crop. Okay, you can see your view wider than normal. Okay, so again this feature is this one. So you have an option if you want to crop the view or uncrop the view, right? Okay, so what else? So I also noticed in Revit 2019 the material. So if you, let's say I'm going to select this floor here. Oh, let me select the floor. Why is it I can't select? Okay, so I'm going to select this floor. So this is the floor. So let's say I'm going to change the material. So I'm going to select edit type, edit here, and then I click this one. Right. So as you can see, there's an icon here just beside the preview of your material, right? So meaning to say, if you see that there is a exclamation point beside on the preview of your material, meaning there is a new material for that. So that's why, as you can see, if you hover your pointer there, you will notice there's information there saying for improved rendering, replace the current appearance asset in this material with a newer version. So meaning there's a newer version of this material. So let's say I'm going to select carpet here. Okay, and then I'll go to the appearance. So if I go to the appearance and click this one, the image, this one, I click. Oh, right, not this one. So this is the carpet appearance. So this is the one that I'm talking about, right? So this one. So you can actually replace this asset with a new version. So you can click this one, and there you go. So let's say go to carpet. Okay. So you can now see here the new versions of the carpet. So as you can see, this is the old one. So these are the new versions. Those uh, uh, materials that doesn't have the exclamation point, those are the new materials. Okay. So just in case you notice there's an exclamation point. Okay. So I'm just giving you a heads up. All right, so another thing that you will notice when you go to the material browser is that if I go to the graphics, okay, so this is another new feature. So there is now the surface pattern for foreground, background, as well as the cut pattern for foreground and background. Okay, so you will now be able to do this. Okay, so you can apply the surface pattern for the foreground, background, as well as the cut pattern, foreground and background. Okay, which is pretty useful if you want to add more details to your design. Okay, right. So what else? So another thing that I noticed in 2019 is that when you create, right? So when you create a, let's say you create a filter, okay? So when you create a filter, so this is actually one of the number one customer requests, which is already included in 2019. Okay, so if I go to filter and then filters and then I select edit new, as you can see, you will notice you now have a little bit different settings from the 2018. Not that much difference, but at least there's a difference. Like this one, filter rules. Okay, so if I'm going to create a new filter here, okay, so you will now notice that aside from the end rules, okay, they already added or. Okay, so this is actually one of the number one customer requests, that is the addition of the variable or to our view filter. Okay, so I'm not going to discuss how to use this one in this video, but I'm going to create a video for this one. Okay, separate video. So I'm just saying that this is one of the another changes for Revit 2019. So this gives you a greater control over view graphics by being able to create, let's say, view filters with multiple rules and nested sets with combination of and or conditions. Okay, right. So this is again one of the great feature for 2019. So Autodesk, as always, is doing a good job or excellent job in adding this feature on their product. Okay, now I think that's it. So those are just some of the changes or improvements that I have noticed in Revit 2019. Okay, if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, just put it on the comment section below and then I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So I'll be creating also some new features in other discipline like architectural, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, or structural. All right. So once I have sorted my schedule. Okay. So once again, guys, thank you for watching and have a nice day.